ABC, Jeff, back again. Just thought I'd shoot this late tonight. I think the next few days or so going to be me ripping out the stairs. So yeah, ended up I worked out a deal or working out a deal with the neighbor. He's a contractor, so we're gonna try to rip out the all the railings, just replace them. Getting too much work to freaking sand them in. So yeah, it's gonna be a really busy week. Got like 4 days off to do this, so we'll see. So yeah, so with the new turntable, I guess I've been listening to a little bit more music. So let's jump in. I got a bit of a stack, some really good stuff this week. On the turntable right now, we got Dave Brubeck, Countdown to Outer Space. I'm pretty sure it came out around the same time as was it Take Five or whatever. Not quite as good, but still pretty cool. Oh, it's got the original shop stickers, kind of cool. So, what does it say? The Disc Shop in Washington D.C. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so it's a pretty solid album. I don't know. I got this I think at Antique Mall for a few bucks a few years ago. But yeah, Columbia Six Eyes sounds great. Playing in the background. Probably too soft for you guys to hear. But yeah, a little bit of a mix. This stack. A little bit of punk here. So this one, you got the Suspects, good old some DC kind of political punk 90s, whatever. They're from, I think they are from DC. The record's from Richmond, so I don't know. I think they were a DC band. That's what I remember anyway. Yeah, it's just the download card. That's not part of the artwork, but yeah, it's a great album. Um, so I used to have this on CD. It had the same red cover. I've seen them with like a blue cover. So I think they were doing like that Minor Threat thing. I don't know. Anyway, super album. Yeah, 4.5 out of 5, I guess. Yeah, it's a good album. This one I really enjoyed. Not for everyone though. This Heat. I think they call this the Blue and Yellow album, or or self-titled. But in the liner notes, they're calling it the Blue and Yellow album. Very experimental, post-punk, very different. Not for definitely not for everyone, but yeah, it's one of those albums that really demands your attention. So yeah, picked that up a couple weeks ago. Finally arrived a couple days ago, so give that a good listen. It's pretty good pressing. Don't think there's very many of these left. If it sounds at all interesting to you, so just kind of a lot of tape loops and just kind of experimental, no wavy art rock, whatever. Early, was it like '79? I want to say. But yeah, really cool. I like this better than the second album that came after this. This is yeah. And then I'm kind of tempted to get some of their live albums. We'll see. I almost picked it up when it was on sale, but I did not. So I don't know. Whatever's. Keep going. So Ravi Shankar, when you get your ragas on. This is just a UK comp. This version wasn't on Discogs, but it's close enough. I don't know. I think it was pretty underpriced when I picked it up. Not a massive Ravi fan, but I'm happy to have this. So this one's got yellow labels on it, UK comp. So you know him. So kind of chill evening relaxation, whatever music, world music. Um, yeah, this one's the one I picked up back in the '90s. Bryce Place. So it's got Jim O'Rourke. Strange is probably most famous for his work with Sonic Youth, but this is early Jim O'Rourke. It is very experimental. Yeah, again, this was definitely not for everyone. Very experimental, kind of ambient noise, rock. Got Darren Gray from Dazzling Killmen, Demon Jones, and Dylan Poza, who I'm not sure where they came from, if anywhere. But yeah, this is on Skin Graft Records. The CD is a lot easier to get than the vinyl these days, I would imagine, but that was a fairly limited pressing. This one, yeah, you don't need too much of this one. David Bowie, Thin White Duke era. Yeah, everyone is still from the that movie. Was it Man Fell from Earth to Earth or whatever? So probably one of my absolute favorites, if not my favorite. Bowie track, Station to Station. Yeah, Golden Years is pretty good. TC V15, Wilds of the Wind. Solid album. It's fairly short for an album. I guess this would be like a mini LP, I guess. But yeah, probably my favorite Bowie. Very dark. That's when he was getting into all the cocaine and wizardry and started taking on that Nazi persona. Anyway, it was a quite interesting album. Um, yeah, Chet Atkins. This is a pickup from the thrift last weekend. So this is a comp, quite good one if you see it. I doubt it goes for a lot of money. Found a nice clean copy in the shrink, VG plus all around. Maybe a little better, really clean vinyl. But yeah, not a massive Chet Atkins head, but it's a good album. I like it. It's definitely one of them. I will not be purging this one. It is good. Fever Trees. I think it's like their second album. The cover's pretty destroyed on this. I think it's supposed to be like a gatefold or something, but I guess because it's got like artwork on the ears. I don't know how that worked. Looks. I'm guessing someone like cut it out and used it for a pinup or something. I don't know. But anyway, classic Psych. I was a little disappointed with this one. Yes, it might barely make a 4, 3.5. I don't know. But yeah, everyone seems to hold their earlier album to higher regard. So if you're familiar with Fever Tree and their earlier albums worth seeking out, let me know. A little disappointed with this one, but it was decent. It's not one I'll purge or anything, but it's kind of good. So Psych. So one thrift sign from a couple weeks or so ago. So I just found it's kind of blurry, isn't it? So Love Child from Supremes, backed with This Will Be the Day. Solid 7-inch all around. Yep, this is what I picked up in Japan. This is all Japanese jazz drummers kind of doing like a fusion thing. So T. Inomata, Ishikawa, S. Tabata, Kate Tanaka, and so on. So it's kind of interesting. They're doing this like rock cover kind of stuff. Yeah, it's okay. Not the greatest, but like if you're a DJ or something, this would probably be very good for you. A lot of beats, a lot of back breaks or whatever. You're a scratch or something. This would be the album for you. But yeah, for sit back chilling, yeah, it's okay. Might trade that down the road. Who knows? But it was kind of interesting listen. Yep. So this was like a dollar find or something at the thrift. David Sanborn, Hideaway. Better than I was expecting, so I'll probably keep this one. Yeah, jazz. It's got that early '80s thing going. Like probably this is around 80, 81, around there. So pretty full. Got cellos and violins and very very produced. If you're not familiar with David Sandsberg, but yeah, it's got quite the lineup of musicians on here. It's very polished. It just makes for pretty chill music. Just throw in the background. Yeah, this one's an awesome one. Again, kind of on the fusion-y end of things. Remember, this is a lot more common than you would think. So I thought this was going to sell out really fast because a lot of these series do. So it was like one of those Japanese record days, and I was like the second or third piece in line, rushed up. Everyone else was just after all they put out a lot of old classic jazz, which I did pick up a fair amount of. Kicking myself for not picking up Pharoah Sanders' Karma. I had it in my hand. I thought it was a lot more common. I wish I picked it up. But I did pick up some other Pharaoh. But yeah, it's again the drummer. He was on that other album I just showed. So this is his group. What is it called? Sound Limited rather. So yeah, came out a couple years ago, but I think you can still get it. It's pretty good. Kind of psych and infused jazz fusion. Yeah. Modern piano jazz. This one, I think this one, 2012. Pretty good. I feel like your Bill Evans type stuff or whatever. You probably chill like him. The one that came out a couple years after this, quite good too. It's a black and white photo, like a city or something on it. I forget what. I never picked it up, but it's pretty good too. It's pretty enjoyable. I think this one's pretty hard to get nowadays, but worth checking out. A little more in the avant-garde end of jazz. Anne Peacock, perfect release. So I don't know. I think most people consider jazz, avant-garde, so somewhere in there. A lot of vocals in there. Has a kind of like a Kate Bush quality almost, but more jazzy. So yeah, Anne Peacock, awesome stuff. We're getting more into the avant-garde stuff here. Steve Reich, avant-garde composer. I was lucky to find this out in the countryside. And I was digging like a head shop slash record store, one of those old ones. I picked up some really good stuff at that shop. But yeah, that was in the easy listening. I was like, oh, Steve Reich, cool. So I picked that up. I don't know what year this was. Early 80s. 85. Okay. Yeah, but that was pretty happy with that purchase. Good one. $9 apparently. I left the price tag on there. But yeah, avant-garde composer, more in the classical vein. I think it was based on some poem or something. I don't know. You guys mostly know this one too. Moondog. This is the repress from a few years ago. It's a little noisier than I would like, but it's not terrible. It's still worth picking up. Again, avant-garde composer, bit more jazz influenced on this one. So he has like his like Bird's Laments on this one. This is big tracks. If you don't know that, Charlie Bird, his like homage or whatever to Charlie Bird. But yeah, avant-garde composer. Blind, and so yeah, it's an interesting story if you read up into it. I definitely need to pick up some more of his stuff, but yeah, this one's a really good start. And here's more ECM-y stuff on ECM. So Gary Burton with compositions by Carla Bley. I don't know who is on this. Does it say Gary Burton, Mick Goodrick? Oh, Pat Metheny's on guitar. Okay. Bob Swallow and Bob Moses on drums. Yeah, yeah. So nice clean copy. I don't know, a few bucks for it at the antique mall. I don't think it goes for much more than that. ECM stuff's generally pretty cheap, but yeah, if you like that avant-garde jazzy kind of stuff, this is kind of a chill one. It's good. It's a good album. And yeah, last one today. I guess I was in a kind of a jazzy mood this one. Mahavishnu Orchestra, John McLaughlin. This is you have Hendrix-inspired fusion. Everyone knows it. This shows up in the VC a lot. Okay. And just a couple of CDs I've been listening to. Nothing crazy. Might Be Giants, Flood. This is one I don't know. I keep trying to listen to it. I don't know. It just doesn't gel with me. I recognize it's a good album, but it's just maybe not my thing. I don't know. And, yep, Sonic Youth Dirty. Love Sonic Youth. This one's getting a little, I don't know. When they're starting to get a little more poppy, I guess. I don't know. Got what is it? Drunken Butterfly, like Sugar Cane, I guess. I think Youth Against Fascism is decent. Yeah, Chapel Hill's kind of rememberable. I don't. Get late already, man. I'm good. Yeah, not my favorite Sonic Youth by far stretch, but it's decent. Kind of iconic cover there. Probably won't bother buying that one on vinyl later. Well, anyway, hope everyone's doing well. I guess this week, if all's going well, I'll have a new staircase in the house. Yeah. I'm kind of nervous about that. So hope you guys are well. Later, and I am out of here. Have a wonderful week.